What's good, everybody? I'm BPC and welcome to Competitive Origins MMA. Well, Jon Jones, the greatest light heavyweight of all time, has stated that he wants to be released by the UFC. He actually posted on Twitter, "Just cut me already." Now, Jones tweeted a couple more statements, and obviously this is probably due to frustration between him and the UFC, but all these statements have thus been deleted at the current moment. Now, in those tweets, Jon Jones stated that he feels he's been treated like crap by the UFC, and he feels that the whole UFC situation is just utterly depressing. He also thinks that he's been taken advantage of throughout his career at the UFC. Now, we haven't seen Jon Jones since February 8th, 2020, in which he scored a unanimous decision victory over Dominic Reyes. Now, a lot of people actually felt that Jon Jones was given the victory and that Dominic Reyes was the true winner, which kind of makes the decision pretty controversial. Now, rather than facing off against Jan Blachowicz or facing Dominic Reyes in the rematch, Jon Jones actually decided to vacate that light heavyweight championship belt. Apparently, he had a conversation with the UFC, and I guess there were talks, and it was discussed that he would be moving up to heavyweight. Now, over the past year, Jon Jones has been gaining a lot of mass. This is somebody that would, probably walk around at 225, 235, and then cut down to 205. And now he's tipping the scales at 250 pounds, and he looks massive. Now, this is obviously a photo that I saw in January. It was also a post which he talked about 250. He has started training, so I'm wondering if it's going to drop down a little bit. But like I said, he looks like a very big guy. He already had the height. Now he has the weight to match the figure. Now, Dana White had stated that Jon Jones is next in line to face the winner of Stipe Miocic and Francis Ngannou. And I actually made a video about it, and I'll put that in the description below. But be sure to hit subscribe, click the notification bell, and hit like on this video. Now, Francis Ngannou got the victory over Stipe Miocic by TKO, or actually by knockout in the second round. Jon Jones was quick to hop on Twitter and post "Let's play," and then followed up with another post saying "Show me the money." Now, at the post-fight press conference, Dana White, the UFC president, had joked about Jon Jones needing to move down to 185 after seeing Francis Ngannou's performance. He then followed it up by questioning Jon Jones' seriousness about really wanting to fight Francis Ngannou. He stated that, everybody can, relinquish a belt, and then post online and spend the whole year gaining weight, but really wanting to get in the octagon with Francis Ngannou, the Predator, is another thing. Now, he also stated that Derek Lewis is the one that actually deserves the fight against Francis Ngannou, but if Jon Jones wants it, he'll give it to him. Now, he said all Jon Jones has to do is give us a call, and he knows the person he needs to call. That person being Hunter Campbell, who is the UFC's executive vice president. Now, obviously, Jon Jones is pretty pissed off about the whole spat going back and forth with Dana White, and that's probably why he's posted these tweets out of frustration. He stated that, it doesn't make sense why Conor McGregor can say, "Show me the money," and expect to get paid, but then when he says, "Show me the money," it's everyone's scared to actually pay up. I totally get it. I get where Jon Jones is probably coming from. A normal person's perspective, I could say, we all have these jobs that we've worked, or I can speak for a lot of people where we all worked, jobs where we feel like we're not being appreciated or being given the money that we should be given. That we've put in more work, we've done a lot more, we've overexceeded what our requirements are, what we've been asked to do, and it just doesn't, equal the amount of money that we should be getting in our pockets, right? Jon Jones, on the other hand, is this multi-millionaire, the greatest of all time of the light heavyweight division, and now he actually wanted more money to face Francis Ngannou earlier, before he vacated his title. He said he was going to move up and face Francis Ngannou, but he wanted more money, and then he basically stated that he wanted to be released by the UFC back then. So now I guess he figured that by moving up to heavyweight, the UFC will then cave in and actually give him the money that he wants, and it's just not working out that way. And I totally get it. At the end of the day, you got to work for yourself, or else you're going to take the pay that somebody else gives to you, unless they really, really need you. And for some reason, Dana White doesn't feel like he really, really needs Jon Jones at the end of the day. When it comes to Conor McGregor, he definitely shows him the money because Conor McGregor puts, the butts in the, in the stands and sells tons of pay-per-views. And we're not saying Jon Jones doesn't do that as well. He just doesn't do it on the level of Conor McGregor, and therefore I guess Dana White doesn't see the value in spending extra money on Jon Jones. He is signed to a contract at the end of the day, and Dana White only has to offer him 3 fights a year, and if Jon decides to turn him down, he's still under contract at the end of the day. And I'm not quite sure that if he was to get released, would another organization be able to pay him as much as the UFC, or not that they wouldn't be able to, would they? Because you got to think about it. Jon Jones needs to have somebody to compete against that's really going to boost the sales, right? Him against Francis Ngannou would be a massive pay-per-view, but Francis is signed with the UFC. So I couldn't see Jon Jones, commanding more money than he's getting with the UFC if he were to go to Bellator, because there's nobody there at the moment that can really say, oh, we're going to buy this pay-per-view, we're going to hop in the stands, So he's kind of in a hard place at the current moment, which kind of sucks for him, Go to the comment section below, guys. Let me know what you think about the whole situation. Do you think the UFC is going to give in to Jon Jones's request and release him? Or do you think they just might end up showing him the money? And do you think Jon Jones deserves the money to go up to light heavyweight? Or do you think he should just fight out his contract and then go from there? Let me know what you guys think in the comment section. I always love hearing what you have to say. Go to competitiveorigins.com, type in promo code 112 so you can get this Competitive Origins no matter what t-shirt. Thank you for tuning in today, guys. I'm BPC, and remember, you've been competing since conception. Whether you're competing against yourself or others, Competitive Origins.